Understanding your true worth is the cornerstone of becoming a high-value woman. It is not something dictated by societal norms, other people's opinions, or even temporary achievements. True worth is an internal compass, a deep-rooted belief that you are valuable just as you are, regardless of external validation or circumstances. Many people spend their entire lives seeking approval, thinking that their worth is defined by their job titles, their appearance, or their relationship status. But the truth is, your worth has nothing to do with these fleeting factors. It begins with self-awareness and an unshakable belief that you are inherently worthy. Self-worth is not arrogance, it's a quiet confidence. It's walking into a room and not needing to compare yourself to others because you know what you bring to the table. It's about being at peace with who you are while still striving to grow and improve every single day. A high-value woman recognizes that worth isn't tied to perfection. You don't need to be flawless to be worthy of love, respect, or success. Mistakes and failures do not decrease your value. They are simply opportunities for growth and learning. Society often conditions women to believe that their value is transactional, that it depends on how much they give to others, how attractive they are, or how self-sacrificing they can be. But the truth is, your worth is not determined by how much you can endure or how much you give to others at the cost of your well-being. Understanding your worth means setting boundaries, saying no when necessary, and not feeling guilty about prioritizing your mental, emotional, and physical health. Self-worth also plays a crucial role in the way you allow others to treat you. If you don't value yourself, you'll accept treatment that aligns with that belief. This can manifest in unhealthy relationships, being underappreciated at work, or allowing friendships that drain your energy. On the other hand, when you understand your worth, you naturally attract people and opportunities that reflect that. You stop over-explaining yourself, stop chasing people who don't value you, and stop settling for less than you deserve. You begin to approach life with a sense of calm assurance, knowing that you are enough as you are. You also stop seeking validation from external sources, whether it's through likes on social media, compliments from others, or financial success. These things might bring temporary satisfaction, but they cannot substitute for an internal belief in your worth. Another key aspect of understanding your true worth is developing self-awareness. This means being honest with yourself about your strengths, weaknesses, and areas for growth. It's about embracing your uniqueness and not diminishing yourself to fit someone else's expectations. When you are self-aware, you stop comparing yourself to others because you understand that everyone's journey is different. Someone else's success doesn't diminish your potential, and someone else's beauty doesn't take away from your own. Self-awareness also allows you to identify the limiting beliefs that might be holding you back from fully embracing your worth. These beliefs often stem from past experiences, childhood conditioning, or societal pressures. Recognizing and challenging these beliefs is essential in breaking free from cycles of self-doubt and insecurity. True self-worth also involves taking responsibility for your happiness. A high-value woman doesn't wait for someone else to come and save her or make her feel valuable. She doesn't expect her partner, her friends, or her job to fill the void inside her. Instead, she takes ownership of her happiness, creating a life that aligns with her values and passions. This might mean walking away from relationships that no longer serve her, leaving a job that doesn't fulfill her, or prioritizing self-care over external obligations. Taking responsibility for your happiness is one of the most empowering things you can do because it shifts the focus from what you cannot control to what you can. Understanding your worth also means acknowledging your accomplishments and celebrating your progress. Too often, women downplay their achievements or dismiss their hard work as luck or coincidence. But recognizing your efforts and giving yourself credit where it's due is essential for building self-esteem and confidence. A high-value woman doesn't wait for others to validate her success. She validates herself. She takes pride in her journey no matter how small the steps may seem. Lastly, understanding your worth means living with intention. It means knowing your purpose and aligning your actions with your values. A woman who understands her worth doesn't live passively. She actively creates a life she's proud of. She sets goals, works towards them with determination, and doesn't let setbacks define her. Living intentionally also means surrounding yourself with people who uplift and inspire you. You become a reflection of the energy you allow into your life, so choosing your circle wisely is crucial. In essence, understanding your true worth is a journey, not a destination. It requires ongoing effort, self-reflection, and a commitment to self-love. It's about recognizing that your value isn't conditional. It isn't dependent on your relationship status, career success, or how others perceive you. Your worth is inherent, unshakable, and undeniable. When you truly internalize this belief, you begin to show up differently in every area of your life with confidence, resilience, and an unyielding sense of self-respect. This is the foundation of becoming a high-value woman, and it all begins with the decision to see yourself through a lens of love, acceptance, and unwavering belief in your own value. Prioritizing emotional and mental well-being is one of the most essential aspects of becoming a high-value woman. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to overlook self-care and let external pressures dictate your emotional state. However, true empowerment comes from within, and taking care of your emotional and mental health is not a luxury, it's a necessity. Emotional well-being begins with self-awareness and the ability to recognize and process your emotions in a healthy way. Many people suppress their emotions, thinking it's a sign of strength, but in reality, unaddressed emotions often resurface in destructive ways. A high-value woman understands the importance of acknowledging her feelings, whether it's joy, sadness, anger, or frustration. She doesn't dismiss or invalidate her emotions. Instead, she allows herself to feel them fully, process them, and then let them go. Emotional well-being also involves setting healthy boundaries. Without clear boundaries, it's easy to become overwhelmed, drained, or resentful. Many women struggle with saying no because they fear rejection, guilt, or disappointing others. But constantly saying yes to others at the expense of your mental health leads to burnout and exhaustion. A high-value woman recognizes that her time and energy are precious, and she protects them fiercely. She doesn't allow others to overstep her boundaries, and she communicates her limits with confidence and grace. Setting boundaries is not about being harsh or selfish, it's about self-respect and ensuring that you have the capacity to show up as your best self. When you prioritize your emotional well-being, you can give to others from a place of abundance rather than depletion. Another crucial aspect of emotional health is managing stress effectively. Stress is an inevitable part of life, but how you respond to it makes all the difference. A high-value woman invests in tools and practices that help her manage stress, whether it's meditation, journaling, therapy, or exercise. She understands that taking care of her mental health is not a one-time task, but an ongoing practice. She schedules time for self-care, even when life gets busy, because she knows that neglecting her well-being will only lead to more significant problems in the long run. Self-care doesn't always have to mean spa days or vacations. It can be as simple as taking a walk in nature, reading a good book, or having quiet time to reflect. Emotional resilience is another key factor in prioritizing mental well-being. Life is full of challenges, setbacks, and disappointments, and emotional resilience is what allows you to navigate those moments with strength and grace. A high-value woman doesn't let failure define her or setbacks break her spirit. Instead, she sees challenges as opportunities for growth and learning. Resilience doesn't mean you never feel hurt or upset. It means you don't let those feelings keep you stuck. You pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and keep moving forward with determination. Emotional resilience also means having a support system you can rely on. No one can handle everything on their own, and a high-value woman isn't afraid to lean on trusted friends, family members, or professionals when she needs support. Mental well-being also requires self-compassion. Many women are their own harshest critics, constantly judging themselves for not being good enough, smart enough, or successful enough. This internal dialogue can be incredibly damaging over time. A high-value woman practices self-compassion by speaking to herself with kindness and understanding. She forgives herself for her mistakes, celebrates her progress, and treats herself with the same love and care she would offer to a dear friend. Self-compassion is not about making excuses or avoiding accountability. It's about recognizing that you're human and deserving of kindness even when you fall short of your expectations. Another important element of prioritizing emotional and mental well-being is learning to let go of toxic relationships. Whether it's a friend, family member, or romantic partner, being around people who drain your energy or undermine your self-worth can take a severe toll on your mental health. A high-value woman knows when it's time to walk away from relationships that no longer serve her. She understands that loyalty doesn't mean tolerating mistreatment or sacrificing her well-being. Walking away from toxic people is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength and self-respect. Additionally, mental well-being involves cultivating a positive mindset. Your thoughts shape your reality, and a high-value woman is mindful of the narrative she tells herself. She practices gratitude, focuses on solutions rather than problems, and consciously chooses to see the good in every situation. This doesn't mean she ignores challenges or pretends everything is perfect. It means she refuses to let negativity control her outlook on life. A positive mindset doesn't eliminate problems, but it gives you the strength and perspective to handle them more effectively. Lastly, prioritizing emotional and mental well-being means knowing when to seek professional help. There's no shame in reaching out to a therapist, counselor, or coach when you're struggling. A high-value woman understands that seeking help is not a sign of weakness, but a courageous step towards healing and growth. Mental health professionals can provide valuable tools, insights, and support to help you navigate life's challenges more effectively. In summary, emotional and mental well-being is not something you achieve once and forget about. It's an ongoing journey. It requires daily effort, self-reflection, and a commitment to putting yourself first. A high-value woman knows that her emotional health is the foundation for every other aspect of her life, her relationships, her career, her goals, and her happiness. She invests in herself, protects her peace, and shows up for herself with love and compassion. When you prioritize your emotional and mental well-being, you not only improve your own life, but also become a source of strength, inspiration, and positivity for those around you. Financial independence is a cornerstone of becoming a high-value woman because it provides the freedom to make choices without being constrained by financial dependency on others. Financial independence is not simply about earning money, it's about developing a mindset and skill set that allows you to manage, grow, and protect your wealth effectively. A high-value woman understands that financial security is not something that happens by accident. It requires intentional effort, discipline, and a clear plan. The first step towards financial independence begins with financial literacy. Many people grow up without being taught how to budget, save, or invest, and this lack of knowledge often leads to poor financial decisions. A high-value woman takes the initiative to educate herself about financial management, whether it's through reading books, attending workshops, or seeking advice from financial experts. She knows the importance of creating a budget, tracking her expenses, and living within her means. Financial independence also involves building multiple streams of income. Relying on a single paycheck can leave you vulnerable to economic instability or unexpected life changes. A high-value woman explores different ways to earn money, whether through side businesses, investments, freelancing, or passive income opportunities. She doesn't depend solely on one source of income because she understands the importance of financial diversification. At the same time, she also focuses on building an emergency fund. Life is unpredictable, and having a financial safety net provides peace of mind during challenging times. Whether it's medical emergencies, job loss, or unexpected bills, an emergency fund serves as a buffer against financial stress. Additionally, a high-value woman knows the importance of setting financial goals. She doesn't just earn and spend money blindly. She creates short-term, medium-term, and long-term financial goals. Whether it's saving for a house, investing in education, or planning for retirement, she creates a roadmap to achieve those goals. Financial goals provide clarity and direction, helping her make informed decisions about where to allocate her resources. This includes not only earning money, but also being intentional about saving and investing. Investing is a crucial part of building long-term financial independence. A high-value woman doesn't shy away from learning about stocks, real estate, mutual funds, or other investment opportunities. She understands that money sitting idle in a savings account loses value over time due to inflation, while smart investments allow her wealth to grow steadily. Financial empowerment is also deeply connected to self-worth and self-respect. A woman who is financially independent doesn't feel trapped in unhealthy relationships or unsatisfying jobs because of financial dependency. She can make choices based on what's right for her rather than what she can afford. This level of freedom is empowering as it removes the fear and insecurity that often come from financial instability. Financial independence also allows a high-value woman to give back to her community, support causes she believes in, and create a legacy that extends beyond herself. Debt management is another crucial aspect of financial empowerment. Many people fall into the trap of accumulating high-interest debt through credit cards, loans, or impulsive spending. A high-value woman approaches debt with caution and responsibility. If she does have debt, she creates a structured plan to pay it off and avoids taking on unnecessary financial obligations. She understands the difference between good debt like student loans or a mortgage that contribute to long-term financial growth and bad debt, which drains her resources without offering any return on investment. Another essential principle of financial empowerment is understanding the importance of financial boundaries. Just as emotional boundaries protect your mental health, financial boundaries protect your financial well-being. A high-value woman isn't afraid to say no when someone pressures her into lending money she can't afford to lose or investing in something that doesn't align with her goals. She recognizes the importance of financial autonomy and avoids letting others dictate her financial choices. Equally important is the ability to negotiate and advocate for fair compensation. Many women shy away from salary negotiations or discussing financial matters because they fear being perceived as greedy or difficult. However, a high-value woman knows her worth and is not afraid to ask for fair pay. Whether it's during a job interview, a promotion discussion, or negotiating freelance contracts, she approaches financial conversations with confidence and clarity. She understands that advocating for herself financially is not selfish, it's a reflection of her self-respect and recognition of her value. Financial independence also includes planning for the future. Retirement planning is often overlooked, especially in younger years, but a high-value woman takes it seriously. She invests in retirement funds, explores pension plans, and ensures that she's building long-term wealth that will support her lifestyle in later years. She doesn't rely on anyone else to take care of her financial needs in the future because she knows the importance of self-reliance. Lastly, financial independence isn't just about individual gain, it's also about empowering others. A high-value woman leads by example, showing others, especially younger women, that financial empowerment is attainable and essential. She shares knowledge, offers support, and encourages others to take control of their financial futures. In conclusion, financial independence and empowerment are about more than just money. They are about freedom, security, and self-respect. A high-value woman takes control of her financial destiny by educating herself, setting clear goals, managing debt responsibly, and building multiple streams of income. She understands that financial independence gives her the power to live life on her own terms without fear or limitation. Through financial empowerment, she not only transforms her own life, but also inspires others to do the same. Emotional intelligence is one of the most vital attributes of a high-value woman, as it allows her to navigate life's challenges with grace, maintain healthy relationships, and remain composed under pressure. Emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize, understand, and manage one's own emotions while also being attuned to the emotions of others. It's about building self-awareness, self-control, empathy, and the capacity to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. A high-value woman understands that emotions are powerful and can either drive her forward or hold her back, depending on how well she manages them. Emotional resilience goes hand in hand with emotional intelligence. It is the ability to recover from setbacks, adapt to changes, and keep moving forward despite challenges or failures. This combination of intelligence and resilience forms an unshakable foundation for personal and professional success. Self-awareness is the first cornerstone of emotional intelligence. A high-value woman takes time to reflect on her emotions, thoughts, and behaviors. She doesn't suppress or ignore her feelings, but rather examines them to understand their root causes. Whether she feels anger, sadness, fear, or joy, she doesn't allow these emotions to dictate her actions without first analyzing them. For example, if she feels anger in a professional setting, she takes a step back, breathes, and asks herself why she feels this way and whether her response will help or harm the situation. This level of introspection gives her a sense of control over her emotional responses, allowing her to act from a place of clarity rather than impulse. Self-regulation is another critical aspect of emotional intelligence. A high-value woman understands the importance of maintaining her composure in stressful or emotionally charged situations. She doesn't allow her emotions to cloud her judgment or damage her relationships. Whether she's dealing with workplace tension, relationship struggles, or personal disappointment, she responds thoughtfully rather than reacting explosively. For instance, in a disagreement, she listens actively, avoids raising her voice, and chooses her words carefully. This self-control creates an aura of maturity and respect, drawing people toward her instead of pushing them away. Empathy, a core component of emotional intelligence, allows a high-value woman to connect deeply with others. She understands that everyone carries their own burdens, fears, and struggles, and she approaches interactions with compassion and understanding. Empathy doesn't mean absorbing other people's emotions or taking responsibility for their happiness. It means being present, listening without judgment, and offering support when appropriate. This skill is particularly valuable in leadership roles, friendships, and romantic relationships. When a high-value woman practices empathy, she creates an environment where people feel seen, heard, and valued, which naturally fosters trust and loyalty. Another essential aspect of emotional intelligence is effective communication. A high-value woman knows that communication isn't just about speaking, it's about listening, understanding, and responding thoughtfully. She is mindful of her tone, body language, and choice of words. Whether she's having a difficult conversation or expressing her needs, she approaches the interaction with clarity and confidence. Effective communication also includes the ability to set boundaries. A high-value woman is not afraid to express her limits, whether in friendships, family dynamics, or professional settings. She communicates her boundaries firmly yet respectfully, ensuring that her emotional well-being remains intact. Emotional resilience, the second part of this keynote, is the ability to bounce back from adversity and maintain mental strength during tough times. A high-value woman understands that challenges are a natural part of life and not a reflection of her worth or capabilities. She doesn't allow failures or disappointments to define her. Instead, she uses them as opportunities for growth and learning. Resilience isn't about avoiding pain or hardship, it's about facing them head-on, processing emotions, and emerging stronger on the other side. When setbacks occur, a high-value woman doesn't fall into self-pity or victimhood. She allows herself to feel disappointment or sadness, but she doesn't stay there indefinitely. She adopts a growth mindset, asking herself what she can learn from the situation and how she can prevent similar outcomes in the future. For example, if a business venture fails, she analyzes the reasons behind the failure, takes responsibility for her part, and uses those insights to approach her next venture with improved strategies. Building emotional resilience also involves practicing self-care. A high-value woman understands that resilience isn't just about mental toughness, it's also about taking care of her physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being. She prioritizes rest, nourishment, exercise, and activities that bring her joy. She doesn't view self-care as selfish, but as a necessary foundation for sustaining her emotional strength. Emotional intelligence and resilience are also deeply tied to adaptability. A high-value woman is flexible in her approach to challenges and is not afraid of change. Whether it's adjusting to a new job, moving to a new city, or dealing with a significant life transition, she approaches change with an open mind and a positive attitude. Instead of resisting change, she focuses on finding opportunities within it. Another hallmark of emotional resilience is the ability to let go of what she cannot control. A high-value woman knows that trying to control every aspect of life is a losing battle. She focuses on what she can influence: her actions, her mindset, and her attitude. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means trusting the process, staying focused on her goals, and remaining patient during uncertain times. Lastly, emotional intelligence and resilience enable a high-value woman to inspire others. Her ability to remain composed during crises, empathize with others, and bounce back from self-worth and confidence are foundational traits of a high-value woman. These attributes are not about external validation or temporary boosts in self-esteem, but are rooted deeply in her sense of identity, values, and belief in her intrinsic worth. If a high-value woman doesn't tie her self-worth to her achievements, physical appearance, or the approval of others. Instead, her confidence comes from a place of authenticity, self-awareness, and understanding of her unique strengths and contributions to the world. She knows her value isn't diminished by setbacks, failures, or other people's opinions. This unshakable confidence allows her to set boundaries, take risks, pursue her goals relentlessly, and stand firm in her decisions. Building self-worth and confidence isn't an overnight process. It's a continuous journey of self-discovery, self-acceptance, and deliberate action. One of the key pillars of building self-worth is self-awareness. A high-value woman takes the time to understand who she is, what she values, and what her purpose is in life. She knows her strengths and celebrates them, but she's also aware of her weaknesses and works on them without shame or self-judgment. Self-awareness involves regular introspection, asking yourself meaningful questions such as, what are my values? What brings me joy? What do I stand for? By answering these questions honestly, she builds a solid foundation for her identity. This clarity prevents her from being swayed by external pressures or other people's opinions. When she faces criticism or judgment, she can filter it through her own understanding of herself, accepting constructive feedback while discarding baseless negativity. Another crucial element of self-worth is self-acceptance. A high-value woman accepts herself fully, flaws, imperfections, and all. This doesn't mean she stops striving for improvement, but rather she doesn't let her shortcomings define her sense of value. She understands that perfection is an illusion and that growth comes from embracing vulnerability. When she makes mistakes, she doesn't drown in shame or self-pity. Instead, she views these moments as opportunities to learn and grow. She treats herself with kindness and compassion, offering herself the same understanding she would give to a friend. Confidence is also built through action. A high-value woman understands that waiting to feel confident before taking action is counterproductive. Instead, she takes action first, knowing that confidence grows with experience and success. Whether it's speaking up in a meeting, starting a new project, or pursuing a personal goal, she doesn't allow fear or self-doubt to paralyze her. She acknowledges her fears, but she takes steps forward anyway. With each step, her confidence grows, creating a positive cycle of belief and achievement. She celebrates small wins along the way, recognizing that each success, no matter how minor, contributes to her overall confidence. Setting and enforcing boundaries is another key aspect of self-worth. A high-value woman knows that her time, energy, and emotional well-being are valuable resources, and she protects them fiercely. She's not afraid to say no to people, situations, or opportunities that don't align with her values or serve her purpose. Boundaries are not about shutting people out, but about creating a safe space where she can thrive. When she communicates her boundaries, she does so with clarity, respect, and firmness. She doesn't feel guilty for prioritizing her needs because she understands that her well-being is essential for her to show up fully in her relationships and commitments. Another powerful practice for building self-worth and confidence is investing in personal growth. A high-value woman is committed to becoming the best version of herself. She seeks knowledge, invests in her education, develops new skills, and surrounds herself with people who inspire and uplift her. She understands that growth isn't always comfortable, but it's necessary for long-term confidence and success. Whether it's reading books, attending workshops, or engaging in meaningful conversations, she actively seeks opportunities to learn and grow. The way a high-value woman carries herself also reflects her self-worth. Her posture, body language, and communication exude confidence. She speaks clearly, makes eye contact, and expresses her thoughts with conviction. She doesn't apologize for taking up space or for having an opinion. Her presence commands respect, not because she demands it, but because she naturally exudes self-assurance. A significant component of self-worth is learning to let go of comparison. A high-value woman knows that comparing herself to others is a losing battle because everyone's journey is unique. Instead of measuring her worth against someone else's achievements or appearance, she focuses on her own growth and progress. She celebrates other people's successes without feeling threatened because she knows that their wins don't diminish her own potential or value. Self-care also plays a vital role in building self-worth. A high-value woman prioritizes her physical, emotional, and mental health. She understands that taking care of herself isn't selfish, it's necessary. Whether it's through exercise, meditation, journaling, or spending time doing things she loves, she ensures that she's nurturing herself regularly. When she treats herself with care and respect, it reinforces her sense of self-worth. Finally, a high-value woman aligns her actions with her values. She doesn't compromise her integrity for short-term gains or societal expectations. When she says she'll do something, she follows through. When she believes in something, she stands by it. This consistency between her words and actions strengthens her confidence and earns the respect of those around her. In essence, building self-worth and confidence is about knowing who you are, embracing your uniqueness, taking consistent action, and treating yourself with respect and kindness. It's about setting boundaries, focusing on growth, and refusing to let fear or comparison hold you back. A high-value woman knows that confidence isn't about being perfect, it's about showing up, being authentic, and believing in her own value regardless of external circumstances. Through these practices, she not only becomes unshakable, but also inspires others to embrace their own worth and step into their full potential. Emotional intelligence is one of the most vital attributes of a high-value woman. It represents her ability to recognize, understand, and manage her own emotions while also being attuned to the emotions of others. This skill goes beyond surface-level interactions and dives into the essence of meaningful connections, fostering healthier relationships in both her personal and professional life. Emotional intelligence equips her with the ability to respond to situations thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. It allows her to maintain calm during conflicts, communicate effectively, and create a safe emotional space for herself and others. This quality doesn't mean she suppresses her emotions or avoids difficult conversations. Instead, it means she navigates them with grace, clarity, and empathy. By embracing emotional intelligence, a high-value woman becomes a source of emotional stability, earning respect and admiration from those around her. Self-awareness is the cornerstone of emotional intelligence. A high-value woman invests time in understanding her emotional triggers, identifying her strengths and weaknesses, and recognizing patterns in her emotional responses. She takes responsibility for her emotions rather than projecting them onto others. For example, if she feels anger rising during a disagreement, she pauses to assess whether her response is coming from a place of genuine concern or an unresolved past experience. This pause gives her the clarity to respond thoughtfully rather than lashing out in frustration. Self-awareness enables her to understand her emotional needs and express them in a healthy way. When she feels overwhelmed, instead of bottling up her emotions, she communicates her feelings calmly and assertively. Equally important is the ability to manage emotions effectively. Life is unpredictable and challenges are inevitable, but a high-value woman knows that emotional control doesn't mean avoiding emotions, it means navigating them constructively. Whether it's dealing with disappointment, stress, or grief, she approaches her emotions with a sense of curiosity rather than judgment. She understands that emotions are signals, not obstacles. For instance, if she feels anxious about an upcoming challenge, instead of letting fear paralyze her, she uses that energy to prepare more thoroughly. This emotional agility allows her to face difficulties without being consumed by them. Empathy is another essential component of emotional intelligence. A high-value woman understands that everyone carries their own struggles, fears, and dreams. She doesn't dismiss or belittle others' feelings. Instead, she listens actively and seeks to understand their perspective. Empathy doesn't mean she agrees with everyone or sacrifices her own boundaries. It means she creates space for understanding without immediate judgment. For example, if a friend or colleague reacts harshly, she pauses to consider what might be causing their behavior rather than retaliating defensively. This emotional maturity fosters trust, deepens relationships, and creates an environment where open and honest communication can thrive. Compassion, closely tied to empathy, adds another layer of emotional intelligence. A high-value woman practices compassion not just towards others, but also towards herself. She understands that being kind to herself during moments of failure or vulnerability is just as important as being kind to others. Compassion helps her view mistakes as opportunities for growth rather than reasons for shame. It also allows her to show up for others in moments of need without becoming overwhelmed by their emotional burdens. A compassionate, high-value woman knows when to offer support and when to step back to protect her own emotional well-being. Effective communication is a key result of emotional intelligence. A high-value woman expresses her feelings, needs, and expectations clearly and respectfully. She avoids passive-aggressive behavior, silent treatments, or explosive arguments. Instead, she uses assertive communication to convey her thoughts while respecting others' perspectives. For instance, if she feels undervalued in a professional or personal relationship, she doesn't suppress her feelings or let resentment build. Instead, she communicates her concerns calmly, focusing on finding solutions rather than assigning blame. This ability to communicate effectively resolves misunderstandings and prevents unnecessary emotional friction. Another important aspect of emotional intelligence is resilience. Life is filled with emotional highs and lows, and a high-value woman knows how to bounce back from setbacks. She doesn't let failure define her or allow heartbreak to shatter her sense of self-worth. Instead, she processes her emotions, learns from her experiences, and emerges stronger. Resilience doesn't mean she avoids feeling pain. It means she doesn't allow herself to remain stuck in it. She honors her emotions, seeks support when needed, and takes proactive steps to heal and grow. Boundaries also play a significant role in emotional intelligence. A high-value woman knows that her emotional energy is precious, and she protects it by setting clear boundaries. This doesn't mean she shuts people out. It means she prioritizes relationships that are mutually respectful and fulfilling. She's not afraid to walk away from situations or people who consistently drain her energy or violate her emotional well-being. Emotional boundaries allow her to maintain her sense of self while still showing up for others in meaningful ways. Furthermore, emotional intelligence helps a high-value woman handle criticism and feedback constructively. She doesn't crumble under negative feedback or allow praise to inflate her ego. Instead, she listens objectively, filters out unhelpful criticism, and uses constructive feedback to improve. This emotional maturity prevents her from becoming defensive or reactive in situations where her flaws are pointed out.